I've only been to one Ren fair too, and
which one?
I don't know.
Where was it?
It was in California.
Okay, southern
Andy,
northern.
well, it was in LA, and then
yeah.
Andy took me to it, and
we might have been working at that.
You might have been working at it.
Yeah.
So, but because that picture of you, you looked like full on Elizabeth, like the first.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
with the ruffled Shakespeare collar.
The costumes are entirely authentic. They're made by a friend of ours who's a Hollywood costumer. I mean, he sort of. I mean, I'm just such a bad sewer that he does sort of the basic. Well, not basic. I mean, they weigh about 25 pounds.
I was going to say, because there's layers.
It's all velvet. The underwear is authentic. The corsetry and all of everything.
Really?
The shoes we had to have custom made because I mean, where are you going to find Elizabethan shoes? And here's the thing: the hats and the ruffs we made. So I mean, we actually took a millinery class. So I could make a French hood, and you made this beautiful bonnet. So I mean, everything was entirely authentic and researched.
Wow.
Yeah.
So wait. How many layers are in an Elizabethan?
A lot.
I'm wearing Spanx and a pair of jeans. That feels like a lot. So
I have less on than you do. So yeah.
Right. So what? So what is it? So it's a dress. You're wearing a dress.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're wearing what kind of shoes? Not clogs. What
No,
the hell
no.
are
They were
Slippers?
special made leather shoes that either tied or buckled, but they were the right period style shoes. And so you have sort of a shift, a cotton shirt and bloomers, and you put your corset on over that.
Okay.
Then there's what they call the farthingale, which is a hoop skirt. So it's not as big as sort of a Victorian hoop skirt, but they actually had hoop skirts at that time. And then there's the bum roll, that wonderful padded thing that goes around over your butt, your bum roll to make your butt stick out at a right angle, which was the fashion. And
super hot.
And then there's an underskirt, there's an overdress, there's doublets, there's more velvet layers. Then you put on the ruff and your jewelry and your hat. So yeah,
and then you walk around in the dirt.
Not just walk around in the dirt. We used to dance. Andrew and I were a member of their dance troupe.
That's right. Renaissance dancing.
Yes. So Southern California, 100-degree heat in the dust, dancing our little butts off for hours. It was fabulous. It was wonderful. I mean, it was exhausting, but it was wonderful.
But you had the time of your life. It was just
we did.
super fun.
We had a great
time.
time.
How long did you do it?
Well, for about 10 years.
About 10 years every summer.
Yeah.
Or every season, or whatever Ren Fair season is.
Yeah, we still go back every now and then to perform with them.
And what kind of dancing did they do in the Renaissance? I don't know anything about. I mean,
it's
I know
wonderful.
that there's like a minuet, possibly.
Well, the minuet was much later. That was more 18th century.
There we go.
So there you go. But
what is the Renaissance period? Tell me some dates.
So for us, we would basically portraying dances that were done from like the end of Henry VIII's reign into Elizabeth's reign. So I'd put it right about like the late to mid 1500s. So that was the part we were doing.
Like 1580 to 1601.
Particularly the year was 1575. I seem to remember.
There you go.
So that was the year we were all doing that year. We had to know, and we seriously researched what happened that year.
Right.
What the Queen did, what the politics was, what the events were, everything that we would have been gossiping about as a court. So we had our shtick. We did.
Yeah. Wow. And then what kind of dancing? Was it just
Well, it's wonderfully mathematical. I mean, if you've ever done something called contra dancing, which is kind of like square dancing.
Okay.
But you do it more in a big line, and you kind of weave in and out in these wonderful complicated patterns. This was a more formalized court version of that, but that was what it was like.
Where there were lines of people?
Yeah, there were lines of people all wonderfully intricate patterns. Really, the music was all researched. These dances were from dance manuals that exist. So these were actual dances performed at the courts.
Because somebody wrote them down.
Yeah, somebody wrote them down. And so our group translated them from Italian and French. We had a period consort of musicians that played period-style instruments. We tried to make this as close to what you would have seen in the court as possible.